These are almost the noise and the din really of something like a jet. I think 115 or 120 decibels is what the jet flies at. So this is pretty close to that.
Well bowled, right on the money. Singh isn't able to prevent du Plessis getting off the mark. The other thing you've got to remember, across the 2 seasons of this Nepal Premier League, it's Kuggelein who's got more wickets than anyone, now 26. Not quite as threatening as he was last year, but still very, very effective and a real spearhead of this Royals attack.
Well, what I like about him is he's always asking the right questions. He's always in the right areas, just on or outside that off stump. Very uncomfortable length for a right-handed batsman. Hence, he's in that wicket.
Slippery, he's difficult to deal with, Kuggelein, but unless there was a discussion, OK, we're going to bat the exact same way as we did 3 days ago when we chased it down in 12 overs. Feels like a crazy shot. Mix up, run out chance. Can they hold their nerve? Gupta's gone. And the Royals have 2 in the first over. And they simply can't hear each other out there. They might have played in World Cups and IPLs. They can't handle noise like here in Nepal.
Well, a big mix-up. It can happen to the best in the business. Martin Guptill and Faf du Plessis, who would have said that they would be involved in such a mix-up? But 3 for 2 in the first over. Well, certainly, let's take a look at that. No intention of running was Faf du Plessis. And what was Martin Guptill doing? He just ran without even looking at Faf du Plessis. He's gone for a couple of runs, and the Kings now are in real trouble at 3 for 2.
Possibly the most extraordinary first over, certainly of the season, maybe in the history of the Nepal Premier League. A wicket from the first ball due to a very injudicious shot, and then a run out that, well, you and I don't think we're going to be able to explain. The only thing I can maybe think of is a complete lack of being able to hear each other or communicate with each other. Guptill set off like he was just cantering a single. Du Plessis hardly even moved, and Guptill it was who was never getting back. Credit to Isham Pandey, who held his nerve well. And somehow the Royals are right on top as Harmeet Singh will open the bowling. And a change of the order, because we would have expected Bashir Ahmed or Lokesh Bam out here, but Naran Bhatta, who took that incredible catch. He comes to the crease and he's gone. It's 3 and 7 balls. What's happening out there? Chaos, absolute chaos, and the Royals are abuzz.
Well, the Royals all over the Biratnagar Kings like a rash. They couldn't have asked for a better start here. This first half or first quarter of the run chase is completely gone awry. Harmeet Singh opening the bowling from the other end, and what a good catch by Scott Kuggelein. Harmeet Singh, I'm the man, I've done it, he says, and Irie there is over the moon. They're really back in the hunt. Naren Bhatta gone for a first ball golden duck. 3 for 3 in the second.
Bashir Ahmed to the crease at number 5. We expected him up the order from there. Lokesh Bam is still being held back. The most extraordinary start I can remember in Nepal Premier League history. Chaos reigning right now at the TU. Big appeal, but it's hit him outside the line. Good umpiring.
Oh, what a sensational game we've had. It's qualifier 1. Best 2 teams out there on the park. And very, very schoolboyish kind of errors on the part of some of the best in the business.
Leg slip comes into place. Beautifully bowled. There's a great saying from coaching: play the game and not the occasion. What happened here?
Well, there it is. Straight away, Faf du Plessis says no. I think he didn't hear it in the crowd. He didn't look at the man. Neither did he look at the fielder. He just put his head down and just continued running. And hence, a very, very unfortunate dismissal for the Biratnagar Kings. They've lost one of their best players.
Harmeet Singh has it on a string. I said Harmeet String. He's got it on a string, does Harmeet. And then first ball, Naran Batter promoted up the order. Where's he trying to hit this? I don't know. Straight to backward point. Remarkable start. 7 deliveries, 3 wickets. The Kings have to find a way to rebuild.
Well, if you see, the mistake that he's made is very, very elementary. When you're looking to cut the ball, it's always a shot that you hit from top to bottom. Here he's hitting the ball deliberately in the air. Take a look at that. He goes underneath that, so it has to go in the air. So that is a real technical problem there that Naren Bhatta faced. He swung away, just breaking the shackles. Will get the boundary. The first boundary for Bashir. He's their main man now. 2 done, 7 for 3.
Incredible start to this chase. They certainly have the quality to come back into this. Du Plessis, of course, has all that experience around the world. Bashir Ahmed, what a great stage for him to again show why he's the kind of gritty cricketer that the national side needs. Lokesh Bam, Pratish GC, Ryan Joshi to come. Extension of the arms from Du Plessis, has width on offer, pounces on that width and gets 4 back-to-back boundaries across the 2 overs.
Well, that's meat and drink for someone of the class of Faf du Plessis. You pitch there, you're going to pay for it. You're in trouble straight away. You gave him the width to free his arms. The length was not great. The line was fine. He needs to come closer to that off stump, and he needs to keep it in those nice hard lengths. Push him on the back foot.
I know you don't get much movement from the modern white balls, particularly with the dew under the floodlights. I would like to see the slip still in, though. You couldn't have thought of a better start. I know you just conceded 2 boundaries, but you get Du Plessis here in the power play, you might get the game with it. Go for the kill, Dipender Singh Airi. Keep attacking.
Well, I completely agree with you, Andrew. You need to get Faf du Plessis out, and if you look at him, he's a little fidgety out there. You can see a nervous energy around him. He's lost 3 big guns. They're back in the hut. He was a part of the run out, so he's going to feel a little nervous out there. So a little nervous poke outside that off stump, you don't want it. You don't want that edge to go begging.
Dream start for the Royals, but still plenty of time for the Kings to come back. Yeah, what happened in these first 7 deliveries, well, probably defies description. The first ball, I don't understand the shot from Heazlett unless it's a complete misread of the length. Irie takes the easiest of catches, a crazy run it, and look at du Plessis' reaction. Where are you going, Martin Guptill, with all that experience? There was never a run there, and then another first bowler and a simple catch for Kuggeleijn at backward point. It's given the Royals a big insight into this game. They can't believe it on the side.
Well, three really very ordinary pieces of cricket. You don't expect that from a team such as the Biratnagar Kings. None of them had anything to do with the bowler. Everything was an error from the batsman. Brilliant bowling. You can see the kind of pace, the kind of bounce that he's deriving from a benign surface such as this.
Yeah, and look, the reality is every single fan of whichever franchise here in Nepal has a little eye on February, has an eye on that T20 World Cup. And that's what the Nepali batters are going to have to get used to come Wankhede, come travelling to that T20 World Cup against England, against West Indies, against Bangladesh. Think about their much wanted pace attack. Up at around 140 kilometres an hour. Now a play and a miss. I think Bashir Ahmed's a fantastic player of spin, but like many domestic batters, it can be tough against that extreme pace.
You make a very, very pertinent point here, Andrew, and I've been drilling this point into a lot of the cricketers that I've been talking to about Nepalese cricket. They're playing bowling at 120, 125 kilometers an hour. Scotty Kuggeleijn is up to about 135. You'll get more than 135, 145 Ks when they go into the World Cup. So they have to simulate those situations.
Another play and a miss. Brilliant finish to the over from Kuggeleijn with 3 dots. Will Irie keep him going? It's 12 for 3. Well, maybe just a half a moment to reflect in the midst of this great battle between two fantastic sides, the best two in the tournament in the group stages this season, as to the achievement of completing this stadium, getting these floodlights done at the 11th hour, just in time. We had some discussions of that lovely evening with Carlos Brathwaite last night, and the development across a year into this second season of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League has been phenomenal. We now have the grandest of stages for just wide of Harmeet Singh. That's the last thing they could have afforded as Irie sprints in and overruns it. But we have the grandest of stages, don't we, now, for the domestic game here in Nepal, and let's hope we get a thrilling 4 games to round out a great season.
18 wickets in his 13th game, 5.6 is the economy. This is spread over 2 seasons. Rasmus, 12 innings and 14 wickets. How well did he bowl throughout the season this year? I didn't get the chance to see him last year, but he's bowled brilliantly. Real utility cricketer in your team.
I did hear a little rumour the Gorkhas might be trying to get him back for tomorrow from the ILT20. I'm not sure it's true, but you never know. Yeah, the only reason Lamichhani's not at the top of that list, which he is for this season, is he was a bit more expensive last year. But I actually thought the Royals played him well tonight. I know he bowled beautifully, 4 overs, none for 16, but tactically they got that right, and that's why they have 155 on the board.
Well, Sandeep Lamichhane has really bowled well this season, Andrew. I like the way the ball is coming out of his hands. He's bowling with the finger. He's not bowling with the wrist as well. 15 wickets of 7 matches at an average of 9.5 and an economy of 5.1 is tremendous stuff. And that will really go down well when Stuart Law and the selectors sit down to pick that World Cup team.
Well, I think there's no doubt that it won't just be the Nepal T20 World Cup squad that he's thinking of. He might be thinking of, can I have a good World Cup, get back to the IPL.
Well, I don't know whether it'll happen or not, but I'm a scout in one of the IPL teams, and I've already recommended Sandeep Lamichhane. So if he does well in the World Cup, you never know. With the IPL auction on, there could be you could see him once again in the IPL.
He's had a great season. He's been outstanding. And big turnaround for the Kings from last year, where they missed the playoffs. They were really unlucky last season, though, because they had plenty of good performances, but they just came out up short in the critical moments, including that first and only super over we ever had in the Nepal Premier League. Good over this from Harmeet Singh, probing away. And finishes it strongly. Just the 3 from it. It's 15 for 3.
May I request all dear spectators to please put your mobile flashlight on, please.
Down.
22 minutes it took to sell the tickets out for tonight, and I believe tomorrow is already a sellout, or if it's not, it's very close to it. At Kelty Apps where you can get those tickets, and if not, enjoy every ball of it with us live around the world on Star Sports, on Kantapur TV Max HD here in Nepal. Fan code, and of course the Dish Home Go app around the world. And I love that when they get the floodlight or the torches on. And they were singing along there to Rato Rachandra Surya, the Nepali national song, the one that the national team sing after every win. As this is going to be a critical spell. Delighted to see him back in the 11. He's a young bowler with real promise. One of probably 4 or 5 cricketers who've put their hands up to say to Stuart Law, I could be in the mix for February. Faf du Plessis likes the pace on the ball from Hemant Dhami, finds the gap and gets a boundary to start the young man's spell.
Well, I think a little error on the part of Dipendra Singh Airi here. You don't want to let Faf du Plessis get set here. Take a look at this. Faf du Plessis off the back foot, just easing it past point for that Ensel Super 4. I think you need to bring on a spinner here. Just try to get Faf du Plessis out of the pitch. The slowness of the pitch, frustrate him a little bit. This way, he'll be enjoying himself.
Protection's just gone out. How good was Faf 3 days ago? It was just vintage, almost trademark du Plessis.
Well, it was a completely different surface. It was in the afternoon, but he really played well. Once again, we see pace on the ball is what he enjoyed. And once he was set, he just carved the spinners to all parts of the ground. He just laid into them, didn't he? There was no turn on offer. He got that brilliant 50, and he's looking to get one more this evening to take the Biratnagar Kings straight into that finals on the 13th of December.
Chance. Airi, he's hit again. Might have got home. He wants a look though. Faf might just have been quick enough. And the last thing you want to do if you're Bashir Ahmed is run out Faf du Plessis. Let's get a look.
We have an umpire referral for run out. Give me the side on angle, please. Take it backward. I need to see whether bat is grounded. Take it backward. Couple of frames. Roll forward. Roll forward. Bat is grounded inside. I have a decision for the giant screen. My decision is not out. Repeat, not out.
Not this time for the Tiger. Quite brilliant piece of fielding, but du Plessis, the conditioning at 41 to have the speed and the presence of mind to stretch out there to just get home. Bashir Ahmed and du Plessis will have had their hearts in their mouths for more than a moment there. Another remarkable piece of fielding. Be well worth a second look. Goes down the ground. Mid-off is very wide, and du Plessis will get 4. Nicely played.
Well, this is meat and drink for Faf du Plessis. You don't want to give him pace on the ball. Again, error in line, in the length especially. And Faf du Plessis relishes this. There it is, just getting underneath that ball. All he needed to do is get it up and over the man at mid-off. We're still inside the first 6 overs in the power play. A couple of bounces into the boundary cushions. Well, I think he should just continue playing the way he plays normally with the Gay abandon. There is that safety net. Should Biratnagar Kings lose this game, they still have that safety net of the qualifier too. So they should just play with Gay abandon.
No, the immediate call. There's an awareness that the Royals fielding is swift. The Kings are outstanding in the first innings. They're catching, but how good is this from Irie?
Well, certainly really good, but how good is it from Faf du Plessis? At 41, he's beaten a 20-something throw. He thought he had his man, but not only is Faf du Plessis quick between wickets, he's also a good judge of the single.
Yeah, it was his backing up that enabled him to get home. But having already had a run out in this innings, well, it's always risky running one to Dipender Singh Irie. And I've no doubt in the team meeting ahead of this game, the Kings will have been made acutely aware of it. Du Plessis, that man, the captain, the leader, the legend that he is, he holds the key to this chase. Good leg cutter. Great change up from the young bowler, Hemant Dhami. It's 25 for 3.
Well, they're scrapping back here, the Kings, but they've got somewhere to go. They've lost some real big players early on. Heazlett without scoring, Guptill run out for 2, Butta without scoring, and now Avinash Pahara is introduced into the attack. Carlos, we said they were top heavy. Now the middle order need to come to the party.
The Royals at the halfway stage would have said we need at least 2 of the big 3. They've done that. They've added a 3rd for good measure. This is important partnership. Faf du Plessis with the experience. Bashir with a little bit of previous in this tournament already, bringing the game home from nowhere. Avinash Pahara, 7 games, 14 wickets. Good return.
Oh, yes. How good is that?
Welcome, Avinash. Shuffle down the track, free flow of the hands, all along the ground. Lots to love about that shot. The crowd has gone absolutely crazy again. You can't take your eyes off it. From the first innings, very first ball. The keeper up to the stump now as a reaction to the use of the feet.
Like it.
And we've seen teams go wide at Bashir Ahmed. That's what Pahara tried to do on the first occasion. He counteracted it by using his feet. But they've employed the 3rd deep on the boundary, so I can expect to see him continue to go wide, just with the extra protection in case it nicks with the keeper up the stump.
Yeah, good cricket. Yeah, that That third for the left-hander is very, very fine, though. So Bahara can't afford to be too wide to allow Bashir Ahmed the square cut. Right, it brings Faf du Plessis onto strike. And I watched Faf du Plessis play this form of the game. I cannot believe that he batted for 7.5 hours for 376 balls for 110 not out in a test match to save the test match for South Africa against Australia in Adelaide in 2012. An all-format player, a huge skill to be able to do that. Oh, how close. Mightily close.
Avinash Bahara just saw the finals. He literally thought the Bills were just picked. Just over. Oh my goodness. Did it go through the bill? Keeper, batter, bowler, everyone hands on head.
Chance in the deep. It'll take some catching. Down it goes. Down it goes. The man that everyone expects to hold on lets one go awry.
Disappointing. So disappointing. This is not an easy catch. We need to make that clear. This is not an easy catch. But if you are Dipendra Singh Airee, if you are any Nepalese cricketer fan, there's one man you want underneath that ball, and it is Dipendra Singh Airee. Avinash Bahara thought he was gone for all money.
Now it's Kugeline's chance. No one. Again, leading a charmed life here, du Plessis. End of the 6th, 34 for 3. That's all okay. Just having a little look at the feet of Kugeline there to see if maybe he stomped on the boundary Toblerones, but that's all okay. So the power play is completed now. The fielding restrictions no longer apply. Only 4 need to be inside that 30-yard circle, and Dipendra Singh Airee now is introduced into the attack. Du Plessis at the non-striker's end, and I'm pretty sure he'll be wanting to be at the striker's end here to face the off-spinner. Opportunities galore in the previous over.
This partnership needs to be broken. Faf du Plessis is the man you want. He thought he had top of off. Then it was in the air. Dipendra Singh Airee under it. Nepal down. Then the last ball, shimmy. New Zealand on this occasion with Kugeline down. This time not dropped out of the grasp. But Avinash Bahara felt he was oh so close to the wicket of Faf du Plessis on 3 different occasions.
Here we go again. Surely not a repeat of the other day.
Faf du Plessis, an absolute juggernaut. Picking up where he left off a few days ago. He targeted Dipendra Singh Airee. He Tapendra Singh dropped him last over, feels the brunt of the blade this over.
Just be a single. That's a skill in itself, isn't it, as a bowler, is to have a delivery that can get the batter you don't want on strike off strike.
So many times you speak about dot balls, but sometimes a single ball is more important than a dot ball. You get Faf du Plessis off strike and you try to get the last two deliveries in at Bashir Ahmed.
Has it been taken? Tapendra Singh says it's carried. Bashir Ahmed is not waiting. That is a good catch.
What if one of those catches were taken? We spoke about him getting Faf off strike, bowling at the left-hander, creating the chance and taking it. That is the standard we're accustomed to from this Tapendra Singh. And the Royals have struck again, 4 down. Bashir Ahmed gone for 12, 42 for 4.
They're on top here, the Royals. They're on top. They could have been home if they'd have held on to some catches in the previous over. Now Lokesh Bam, who's done duty at the top of the order early on in the competition. Ironic, isn't it? From Sudar Pashim as well, Lokesh Bam, but now representing the Biratnagar Kings in this edition of the NPL. Is this their last hope here? I know that Pradesh GC and Marchant de Lange have contributed earlier in the competition with some big hitting, but there's a long way to go here. Du Plessis needs some support. Is he going to get it from Bam? A single to end the over, a successful one for the skipper. 43 for 4. Seven overs gone here, 43 for 4. Hard to believe that this is the same team, the Kings, who absolutely destroyed the Royals a couple of days ago. Well, this was a good catch.
Yeah, slowing it up on the length, deceiving him, and the lack of pace. And a hard push from Bashir Ahmed. And it isn't the elaborate celebration that we've seen because there's so much riding on the game, one, but two, because he knew that he could have taken the catch of Faf du Plessis in the over before.
More left arm spin here, Milan Bahara. Well, they did manage to get Du Plessis out in the previous match. Avinash Bahara, pace off. And it's been pace off that's led to those opportunities as well. One going over the bails, the other one a drop catch.
What he does really well as well, Avinash Bahara, is balls wicket to wicket. And cricket is a game of cliches. You talk about they miss, you hit. He always keeps it within the general area of the stumps. Always forces the batter to make a decision. And if it's the wrong one, injudicious. He gets something in the right-hand column.
Right, so the Royals are desperate for a 5th wicket. So let's go downstairs and join Jess Crow.
I'm joined here by Dhruv Parashar. Dhruv, 4 wickets taken by the Royals so far, an excellent start. How's it going out there?
Yeah, I think it's obviously a very crucial match, and we've gotten to a really good start. We thought maybe we were like 15 short with the bat, but I think the start we've got with the ball and how we've been in the field, I think we're in a good position to win this game. Obviously, it's T20 cricket, anything can happen, but I think we're in the driver's seat at the moment.
Of course, and now coming into these crucial matches then, how do you manage to keep the pressure under control?
I mean, obviously there's one, I would say personally for me, it's a new franchise, so there's a bit of nerves, and on top of that, the crowd as well. I mean, the crowd, it's still fine, I'm a bit used to it, but it's always, you're trying your best when you're playing for a new franchise because not everyone knows your game, so you're always trying to prove yourself.
And you've been the most successful team in the comp overall by far. What's been the driving factor to that success, do you think?
I think we've gelled really, really well as a unit from the first game onwards, and I think that's very important because it's a short competition and we don't have much time. It's, I think, only a 30-day competition. I think whichever team gels first and gels better would obviously be a successful team, and I think we've done that really well. It's obviously led by the management and the senior players in our team, so kudos to them.
Excellent. Well, great work. Thank you very much. All the best to you and the team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Back to comms.
Wicketless Jess Crowe, 8 gone, 49 for 4. Well, it's been a discussion point, Carlos, and it does look as though there's a little bit of dew that's forming on the outfield here. He said that the back end of these evening games becomes a little bit tricky to handle this ball.
With ball in hand or in the field, a little bit of slipping and sliding firstly there, should have done better, but once it got in the outfield, you knew it was 2, just a matter of picking up, ploops, maybe not, and then they turned 1 into 2 into 3. How important is it to ensure you gather the ball cleanly on a slippery surface and prevent extra runs from being taken? It's only 156 you're defending. You're ahead of the 8 ball, 14 for 4, but every run counts.
Oh, well, he's playing in a manner where you can't help thinking he's going to be there at the back end because it's going his way at the moment.
This is the epitome of riding your luck. More shots have been aerial, they've been close to fielders, they've kept fielders in the hunt. They've kept their hearts and their mouths. You feel like though any moment Faf du Plessis can lose his wicket, but you also know the class of the man. At any moment he can flip a switch and he can win the game with the bat.
Chance taken, easy as you like. It's just holding a little bit in the surface. Batting's not easy. Bahara's done it again.
Abhinash Bahara, the X Factor. Once again, another shot with the hand coming off the bat. Deceived by lack of pace and embraced by his skipper. The Royals sense the finals. Lokesh Bam gone for 5, half the side gone, 50 on the board.
Marianne Joshi returns to the starting lineup for this all-important game.
And he's up against such a canny campaigner in Abhinesh Bahari. He looks so innocuous, but he delivers in virtually every single game. A little change in the field as Kugelan's brought up from deep mid-wicket to save one, and fine leg is pushed back on the boundary and pretty square.
Avinash has been a real challenge, a real handful to face. Subtle changes of pace, rolling his fingers down the side of the ball. He's deceived Faf a couple of times. And as you say, it looks very innocuous. One thing we can say is the approach is very Jasprit Bumrah-like. Holding the ball in hand and shimmying from side to side as he runs in. Looks as though he's never really ready to run in the ball, and then all of a sudden, there goes. And I tell you what else he has that Jasprit Bumrah does. Impact, X factor. Not the pace, but the skill and the guile.
He's only got one, but it feels as though he's got three. There's been so many chances in the outer off the bowling of Bahara. Oh, they're going to steal another. They've been perfect with their ground fielding. And there's a little error. End of the ninth, 53 for 5. Our Aga Kranji Cement Golden Cap leaderboard, which showcases the tournament's leading wicket takers, and he's right up there now, Bahara, level with Sandeep Lamachani, who went wicketless this evening. They thought that they would just look after him, played him well. Still a few games to go here, and you can't help thinking that these two are going to really be in the shake-up in a couple of days' time. Harmeet Singh, 1 for 7 in his 2 overs. Brilliantly bowled. Now this fella does know how to make an impact.
Instant impact. Harmeet Singh, Deepinder Singh, a good change. Bringing your international star into the game. Looking for a wicket, looking to finish things quickly. Naran Joshi gone for 1. A spotter bother, a real spotter bother, the Kings, 53 for 6. And it's time for the expert strategic timeout.
Thank you. धन्यवाद.
Well, the Royals fans are dominating the grandstands here at the TU. They left this ground a few days ago, sad, thinking, is this the end for their team? But they've risen today against their destroyers, the Biratnagar Kings. They well on top here after 9 overs. The Kings are 53 for 6. It's just one man that stands between them and a final, you might think, Carlos, and that would be Faf du Plessis, as he's joined by Pratish GC.
And they would think that he can stay at the other end. You only need 10 wickets, not 11. If they can get 10, 10 from the other end, they'd be happy for Heath staying. But he is the difference. And I just wonder if the Kings could have been a little bit more proactive before Lokesh Bam, before Naran Joshi. Could you have sent to Lamichhane? Could you have sent to Marchant de Lange to take some pressure off Faf? Most of the wickets that we've seen fallen recently fall to defensive shots. So we know the standard plan of action would be rotate the strike, give Faf the strike, but it puts batters in a defensive mindset. You send Marchant de Lange or Sandeep Lamichhane or Pratish GC with a strike rate of 167, hit a couple boundaries, a couple sixes, all of a sudden the required run rate comes down to 8s. You put yourself back in the zone. Is it an opportunity missed?
Well, that required rate is up at 9.5. This is the contest. Du Plessis versus Harmeet. I'm just wondering where he bowls this from. Harmeet Singh. No, I thought he had bowled it from a little bit further back. It just slides on, doesn't it? We saw during the drinks break Faf du Plessis indicating to his teammates that the ball's just holding a little bit. So the dew obviously not having an effect on the playing surface. As it carried. He hasn't even nicked it. It's just turned.
I just love the fact that his slip is in. They're really going in for the kill. Hit the hip. Thought he had him. I love this. I've loved the captaincy on show from Sandeep Lamichhane firstly, and now Dipendra Singh Airee.
With the delivery remaining here from Harmeet, you can't think that Du Plessis will take too many risks. He'll want to get to the other side and then sue his dish. And during the break, deep conversation, Du Plessis letting them all know this is what's happening. Nicely bowled, but played brilliantly in the end. So just a single to end the 10th. They're still in it while he's at the crease. 57 for 6.
The Biratnagar Kings need 99 in 60 deliveries, but it's the wickets column that's hurting them. And at the moment, it looks like it's Sudur Paschim Royals versus Faf du Plessis and not the Biratnagar Kings. One man standing in the way of the boys in yellow who've been on top of things right from the start. Harmeet 2 wickets for him, and all of a sudden, that target of 150 plus looks so uphill and daunting. Great scenes here, great support. Very good evening, Fazal Khalil.
Very good evening, Mikhail. Very good evening to everyone watching this broadcast at a very interesting phase of the game. You mentioned rightly, it's that one man, Faf du Plessis, standing between victory and a place in the finals for the Sudur Paschim Royals. What a great level of cricket is, isn't it, Mikhail? Just the other evening, they were completely outplayed, completely annihilated by the Biratnagar Kings, the Sudur Paschim Royals, and suddenly the new day, new pitch, qualifier 1, pressure completely on, and now we see the men in yellow really with their tails up and looking with 1 foot already in that final. But stranger things have happened in the game. Faf du Plessis out there in the middle. Can he make the difference for the Biratnagar Kings?
Quite impressed by Hemant Dhami. Watch out for a slow one, the leg cutter. Very deceptive. Yeah, talk about that leg cutter. Just rolls his fingers on that seam. So beautifully disguises it. Foxed even Pratish GC, who himself employs these kind of tricks.
Well, you do need flashes of brilliance when you want to get somebody like Faf du Plessis out. But just take a look at this. The best fielder in the country was underneath this a little while earlier. Dipendra Singh Airi, by his standards, that's an absolute sitter. And he will be really ruining this should the Biratnagar Kings win the game. A big moment in the game that was.
Yeah, rare blip there for Dipendra Singh Airi, but could always trust him to just get into the redemption act as well. Never misses the stumps with direct hits, but he's dropped a couple in this tournament, especially the one that's been going away from him.
Well, it's always difficult under the lights. You're running back, looking over your shoulder. It's not easy, but the kind of levels that Dipendra Singh Airi sets for himself, that's the reason why I say that was a relatively easy catch.
Great stuff behind the stumps there by Binod Bhandari. Once again, the slower leg cutter. Didn't pick it up here. Faf du Plessis.
Well, really good bowling this. We know that he will bowl the one that comes in, but look at the variety that he has. The back of the hand, slower delivery, just went like a leg spinner. Not a real fan of the wicketkeeper standing up to the stumps because Faf du Plessis is not using his feet, Mikhail. You don't want the edge to go begging. And I'm sure the wicketkeeper is really confident of himself. And I think the bowler wants him up so that Faf du Plessis can be back in his crease.
Lost his shape. Great opportunity here. And it's been pouched. Sheldon Jackson with the catch. And Hemant Dhami there with the big fish. Big moment in the game. And is this the match as well?
Well, they'll be really hurting now, the Biratnagar Kings. The pressure getting to a international quality player like Faf du Plessis. Just couldn't get going in this innings. Let's take a look at the bat, just turning in his hands. It didn't go where he wanted it to. The outside edge carrying to Sheldon Jackson, who's actually a wicket keeper, so he has a safe pair of hands. All he needed to do was get underneath that ball, keep his head firm, which means the end for Faf du Plessis for 36 of 29. With it, perhaps the hopes of the Biratnagar Kings. They are 59 for 7 now.
A couple of nights ago, the Biratnagar Kings had the better of the Sudur Paschim Royals. They went on to win by 6 wickets and 49 balls. And today they've only managed 59 in the first 11 overs. It's been that kind of a game where it looks like the boys in yellow are very politely returning the favour, Fazal.
Marshan Dilanga out there in the middle. What can he do with that big bat of his? Really good end to the over this. Oh, there's going to be trouble. There's another wicket here. Wicket number 8 is for the Biratnagar Kings, goes down. Pratish GC will be making that walk back. Take a look at the Sudur Paschim Royals fielders. They're in a huddle already. They know they've got their man. What a feeling this for Dipendra Airi and his boys in yellow.
And I'll tell you what, Binod Bhandari.
Roll forward, roll forward. Wickets are broken, batter is outside the crease. I have a decision for the giant screen. My decision is out, repeat, out.
Very naughty Vinod Bhandari, very cheeky Vinod Bhandari. But he's had the wood on Pratis GC over here, who walks back for 3. Absolute catastrophe here for the Biratnagar Kings. They've caved in. 59 for 8 after 11. Well, stunned and shaken are the Biratnagar Kings and their fans as well. Such has been the way things have played out this evening, that in the 12th over, the captain Sandeep Lamichhane has walked out with 97 needed in 54. Who would have thought at the halfway stage this chase would become so horribly wrong for Lamichhane and his boys?
Well, that's the reason why I'm a big fan of these playoffs. A big team, a good team like Virat Day will be knocked out of the tournament if it's a knockout. Since it's a playoff scenario, they will have one more bite of the cherry when they take on the winner of the eliminator. Just take a look at this. Absolute communication lapse there. Pratis GC had no business to keep looking at the ball. Marshall Dilanga had called, but like you rightly mentioned now, that's down the track. That'll go just over the outstretched hands of Scotty Kugelheim. 6 very, very needed runs for the Biratnagar Kings.
Yeah, trust Marshall Dilanga to play golf instead of cricket at this stage now. He'll just throw his bat at everything. Kugelheim almost getting his fingers to it. Yeah, what a match. Just want to believe. That the boys in yellow are slowly but surely making it to the final as well in this contest. What a lovely little puzzle this playoff serves as.
Well, it does give the Biratnagar Kings another opportunity day after tomorrow, and that's so they're driving home much like we do every day. Omoda and Jeko's new J5, the real SUV with best in segment specs. And it's really all electric and really beautiful. It's got all the bells, it's got all the whistles, much like the Sudur Paschim Royals do this evening.
Playoffs. You spoke about the Biratnagar Kings having another bite at the cherry. But ideally, you just want to keep biting it first up and get to the final. Like Sudur Paschim Royals will be feeling really good this evening.
Well, they certainly deserve to be there. They must have been really hurting the other evening. They got annihilated at the hands of the men in blue, but they came out all guns blazing. That's in the air as well. Will just elude the fielders at point and third. Just the single, like you said, Marshall Dilanga swinging for the fences here. And just make a couple of good connections just to keep the crowd interested. But I think it's a little too late for the Biratnagar Kings. 88 to 49 with just 2 in the hut is not going to hold them in good stead. Harmeet Singh, how well has he bowled? He's in the cusp of ending a very, very good spell. 2 for 20. Could he make it 3 for 20?
Yeah, it's all just slipping away at the moment from the Biratnagar Kings. That asking rate, 11, 2 wickets left, 68 for 8. 8 overs left.
Well, it's been a very slippery slide, isn't it, from the get-go? They lost a wicket at the very first delivery. The second went down for 3, the third went down at 3. They were 5 for 50, 6 for 53, 8 for 59. So they've been completely outdone by a very superior Sudur Paschim Royals. They look like a real well-oiled machine today to the Sudur Paschim Royals. They've done a lot of work. Well, just take a look at some of the wickets that have fallen, Mikhail. It was just very superior bowling by Scotty Kuggeleijn to start with. It was quick, it was straight, hit the splice of the bat. That was the first wicket of Hazlett. And then this run out, I mean, this was really the turning point of the innings. Martel Guptill is completely was outdone, and then Narayan Bhatta was gone for the first delivery. So they were 3 down for next to nothing, and to come back from there chasing a score of 155 on a surface such as this will take some character. Unfortunately, didn't work for the Biratnagar Kings this evening. They are getting a few runs at the back end of the innings, but is it just too little, too late for the Biratnagar Kings?
Yeah, they can only delay the inevitable unless a miraculous innings here from both these batters come through, or a partnership, but highly unlikely. You could always sense that Marshall de Lange will present you with opportunities when trying to force the issue this evening. What an outing if you're a Sudur Paschim Royals fan, Fazil.
Well, I don't know, Mikhail, whether I'm thinking correctly here, but if I were Dipendra Singh Airi, I would ask someone like Harmeet Singh and Scott Kuggeleijn to just take it easy. It's rather cool out there. I don't want them to geez, it's just the wheels really falling off the wagon for the Biratnagar Kings. Some really good bowling by Harmeet Singh, got that one to come in with the arm and reducing them to 74 for 8. So I tell Scotty Kuggeleijn to just perhaps take it easy, don't stretch yourself too much, because it's a cold evening. Don't stretch those hamstrings of yours. Keep yourself in good shape for the final. They get that extra day's rest as well now. They'll get 2 days off. They can take it easy, you know, prime themselves, plan for the finals. No matter who comes, Sudur Paschim Royals are really looking good. And that was a big one of Faf du Plessis. Sheldon Jackson, who's flown in from India for this game. And that's the unfortunate run out. But Pratish GC had no business turning around and waiting for Marshall de Lange. He should have run instantly. But just a little too cute, perhaps, was Binod Bhandari there, who just had the bails off at the right time, in the nick of time.
Swing and a big miss. And that's how much of a miss it's been for the Biratnagar Kings. Yeah, that recovery was never really on. 3 for 3 Fazil. It's very difficult in a big chase on a big occasion like this.
Well, it's like losing 3 or 4 games and trying to come back into the T20 tournament. It's always going to be difficult, if not impossible. But today, just very superior was the Sudur Paschim Royals. Well, just take a look at the crowd. Just come in droves in huge numbers. The tickets completely sold out until the finals. And the finals are complete sellout. There's the man. He's a very important cog in this wheel for the Sudur Paschim Royals. I would tell him to just take it easy if I were the captain. Don't stretch those sinews too much.
All right, then 80 of 43. 2 wickets left here for the Biratnagar Kings. Yeah, just throwing the kitchen sink at everything. 9 runs off this over, but the asking rate is well and truly over 11. 77 for 8.
Well, they're certainly dancing in the aisles here now. The party's begun, but they'll know that they're just one more step away. There it is. Yeah, we love the Sudur Paschims as well, the way they play. Dipendra Singh Airi, a big draw here, much like Sandeep Lamichhane. No surprises that they're all enjoying the atmosphere here. Really cool evening here in Kathmandu. We're just on the outskirts of Kathmandu. in Kirtipur.
Not been an easy ride for the Biratnagar Kings. But I'll tell you what, it's a good ride when you're sitting on the Bajaj Pulsar. The next gen Pulsar power, explosive, fast and unstoppable like Dipendra Singh Airi. A precision strike, clean and sharp, pure next gen Pulsar accuracy. Sure, Fazal's taken a liking to that.
Certainly taken a liking to everything in Nepal. It's the festival of the Himalayas. And it certainly is very festive here. Atmosphere absolutely electric.
Simple, straightforward. Another wicket in the bag for Kuggeleijn and the Royals. And it's almost that point of the game where they are sensing a spot in the final. De Lange departs.
Well, those three faces that tell the story. And out there in the middle, trying to get it over mid-off, straight to the man, Harmeet Singh. Last nail in the coffin, perhaps, for the Biratnagar Kings, at least as far as the qualifier 1 is concerned. Martian de Lange gone for 15. The Biratnagar Kings are 78 for 9 and in... Welcome back to the Festival of the Himalayas. It's qualifier 1 and the Sudur Paschim Royals are all over the Biratnagar Kings like a rash. Surya Tamang, the number 11 out there in the middle. 78 runs to go. 40 deliveries there to get them in. Dipendra Singh Airi there in the picture for a brief moment. Must be over the moon. The Sudur Paschim Royals versus the Biratnagar Kings. A real clash of two very big teams, and Sudur Paschim looked like the team that will get the better of this first qualifier and make it to that big final on the 13th of December. It's the Siddharth Bank Nepal Premier League Season 2. We're almost there. Scotty Kuggeleijn with a slip in place to Surya Tamang, the left-hander. And just the outer edge of the bat, and he's out there because just a wee bit earlier, this is what happened to Martian de Lange, straight to Harmeet Singh at mid-off. And oh, she's completely distraught. She can't believe her eyes. But just one wicket separates Sudur Paschim Royals from that spot in the finals on the 13th. And there it is, 78 of 39. I think it's probably easier to climb the Mount Everest from here than to get those 78 of 39 with one wicket in the hut. Slow delivery by Scott Kuggeleijn. Mikhail Vaswani is eased out of the commentary box, and in walks Andrew Lennon.
I insisted. I said, Mikhail, enough. Out you go, in I come. Because it's one away, one wicket from the Royals being in the grand final for the second time in 2 seasons. And you'd have to say on the balance of tonight, they deserve it. They've been brilliant. This man again, Scotty Kuggeleijn, couple of key wickets up at the top. He's been fast, he's been fearsome. And despite a drop, and I will repeat that, a drop catch from Dipendra Singh Airi, 36 from Faf du Plessis was never going to be enough, and no one came with him.
Well, he didn't look the part this evening, did Faf du Plessis. Just didn't get the ball coming onto the bat like he did the other evening. But how well have Sudur Paschim Royals come back from that huge defeat? They were completely annihilated by the Kings.
So much of it is down to that man we just saw on your screen, Jagat Tamata. Fearsome bouncer there from Scotty Kuggeleijn. It's 78 for 9. Well, it's party time, and Jagat Samata, there's a reason that he is held in such high esteem here in Nepal. He's managed to find the best out of his players. Scott Kugline's been fantastic, Harmeet Singh, and Hemant Dami back into the team. That wicket that he took, that of Faf du Plessis, gone. That's going to be that. One captain catches the other, and he may have put one down this evening, Dipendra Singh Airi, but he's back to what he does best, dominating in the field. The Royals, as the fireworks sparkle around the TU International Cricket Ground, they've not just won, they have routed their opposition. A 77-run victory, bowling the Kings out, all out for 78, and they storm into the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League Grand Final 2025.
Well, how right that graphic is there. Royal storm into the final, absolutely decimating the Kings, absolutely obliterating the Kings. Congratulations to that man there, Binod Bhandari, who played an absolute blinder of innings considering how the pitch played, and him, the skipper Dipendra Singh Airi, some of the best tactics used by him. Very tactical captain. He did really well for them as the fireworks light up this night sky. Perhaps done a little damage to that Pinky, but he is a tough man. He'll be back. They're all smiles. Sandeep Lamichhane, nice to see him smile in defeat as well.
And there she is, Mrs. Airi up top. How happy is she? Proudest mother in the country right now, because her son has led the men from the far west into the grand final. She has a smile as broad as the sun. Beautiful scenes these, in front of a sold-out crowd, in front of an atmosphere you had to be here to experience. Jagat Samata and his captain Dipendra Singh Airi have pulled off another masterclass. They did it all but win it last year. They'll have a chance to put right the wrongs of last season. And look at that for a glorious scene as the floodlights sparkle, the fireworks go off. The Royals absolutely deserve every second of this victory. It's been comfortable, it's been confident. And the best way to win it, of course, who else could it be but Dipendra Singh Airi, giving Abhinesh Bahara another wicket. Good catch this.
Absolutely stunning catch by the skipper. Just shows how comfortably he did it in the end. Believe me, it was traveling at the rate of knots. A kiss to the crowd, blowing kisses, a lot of good wishes. Mother's there, and mother's blessings always go a long way, doesn't it? I mean, blessed are those whose parents can come and bless them on the ground. There he is, the man, Dipendra Singh Airi. He's the talk of Nepal, the son of the soil. He's done everything right today. And could he do it one more time?
He just continues to find a way. He dropped a catch tonight I would have expected him to take. Yes, it was the most difficult catch in the game, running over your shoulder. But he finds a way to contribute even when he does some things wrong. That's what makes him so dynamic, so exciting to watch. He ran himself out with a misjudged second, but he took 3 catches, one of which was off his own bowling. The direct hit near run out of Faf du Plessis was sensational. His teammates, Isham Pandey, picked up a couple of run outs, and Binod Bhandari, in his own calm, measured, experienced way, he's been around everything in the history of the game here in Nepal. He's seen it all, he's done it all, and where would they be without his experience? I don't think they'd be in the grand final right now. And Abhinesh Bahara, who's now joint top of the table in terms of the wicket takers, Bhandari second in the runs, 2 great servants of the game here in Nepal, having an absolute field day in season 2.
Well, Andrew, the unsung hero there on your screen. He's done everything.
How he's just been that unsung hero. Du Plessis, I thought, played nicely in phases, but couldn't ever quite get to the strike rate that he scored at the other evening. And only 2 of the batters got to double figures. That was Bashir Ahmed, who was caught and bowled by Dipendra Singh Airi, and Marchant de Lange, who was caught at mid-off for 15. A sorry tale for the Kings, and we did say it. We felt as though they were a bit top-heavy. If Heazlett, du Plessis and Guptill didn't get it done, who was going to stand up? The rest didn't. 78 all outs. That's then told again within the partnerships, just that 39-run effort between Bashir Ahmed and Faf du Plessis. And look at all the wickets falling around Faf. He must have been wondering what was going on out there.
I'm certainly wondering what went on out there. I'm sure Faf du Plessis would be as well, but how well have they bowled? They were marshalled really well by Dipendra Singh Airi. 2 for 9 runs of his 3 overs for Scott Kuggeleijn. Harmeet Singh has always been that important linchpin for them here. 2 for 20 of his 4. Miserly as ever. 2 wickets for Abhinash Bohara against the run of play. 1 each for Hemant Dami, who's one bright spark in Nepal's future. And the man himself, Dipendra Singh Airi, 1 over 9 runs and that 1 wicket.
Well, we all felt everyone
demolished by the Biratnagar Kings. 148 they scored in 11.5. They came out chasing that score of 155, lost a wicket very early in the piece, and they just kept losing wickets. And this was perhaps the turning point for me. Martin Guptill, the man in form, once he got run out, it was curtains, and then he came and left. Bhatta came and left, and then by then they were all over the Royals.
You and I were on call for those first 7 balls. We couldn't believe what we were witnessing. Heazlett and Bhatta's strokes in particular shocking, and then I don't quite know what happened. This could have been the turning point as Airi did all the hard work, but it was almost a touch lackadaisical at the end. He put down du Plessis, who started to cash in. He took a bit of a liking at first to Dipendra Singh Airi, but then Airi picked up that big wicket of Bashir Ahmed. Lokesh Bam came and went, another catch. And then there was a lovely piece of bowling, wasn't there, from Harmeet Singh, who's so good.
Well, they looked like a well-oiled machine. They played like a team. They were happy for each other. There it is, Sheldon Jackson coming from India for this game. And take a look at this. This was the kind of evening that the Biratnagar Kings had. There was complete chaos in their ranks. And then Marshan Dilanga came out there and threw his bat around until he hit one straight to Harmeet Singh, and that was the end of it. They were in the finals. A real good, smart catch by the skipper, Dipendra Airi, taking them into that grand final, Andrew.
Jagat Tamata, special, very special. He's out-coached some much bigger names, much bigger names. ICC